Right now, there is actually some development. I was even involved with some conference on yoga psychology, where now they're starting to take yoga as a psychological system more seriously.
Well, it's taken them quite a while
to figure it out.
Catch up.
But you've talked a little bit about the model of the human being that yoga has.
Mm.
Well, can you talk more about what are the tools that yoga provides for exploring this area?
The art of self-control, probably the most important.
And is that something for the therapist, or is it something for the
therapist? Oh yeah, sure, right. No, yoga therapy. What I do with people is, as you may remember, varies. It's
Right.
very seldom. I very seldom treat two clients the same way. That depends on the person
Right.
I'm working with. So
So how is your daily routine been organized around your practice of yoga and meditation?
oh, no problem. I enjoy it anyway, no matter what.
Right.
Since my time in the office is limited,
Right.
I see people in hospitals,
Oh, okay.
which is a very, very easy thing to do. I just have to be accepted by the hospital and all the major hospitals.
You had some very interesting stories about some people you worked with, and maybe even a girl that you worked with, and how you helped her recover by using the power of faith from was it cancer situation or some other?
Oh, cancer, of course.
Yeah.
Oh, sure. It's absolutely amazing
Huh.
what a practice of faith
Huh.
does.
So can you do you remember some example or some case that's a good success story in your mind about what happened, or where the person was able to
Specifically,
use it?
no, that was some years ago.
Okay.
I don't remember all my cases.
Sure.
I've had an awful lot.
Where there was some cases where the doctors had given up and
Oh, yeah. Right. But again, it's the faith.
But again, it's faith.
Faith.
So you teach the patient how to apply faith.
Yes and no. No. It's usually my faith that has some kind of a causative aspect of it. So if I believe I can accomplish something, I accomplish it.
And when you're sitting with a patient, do you believe that you can accomplish them becoming free of cancer?
No.
Just check.
No.
How does
Yes and no. Yes and no. it always takes both of us working harmoniously to make things happen. I wish I could say that my own faith causes improvement or recovery. I can't really say that, because it has to be the patient has to believe that what I am doing, what I am saying is right and it's going to work. And usually people with cancer would be easy for me to work with, because they've exhausted all the other medical possibilities. Nothing works. That's it. I'm going to die. If they want to die, they die, but no matter what I say. But most of them don't want to die. And then they can put faith to work if they don't want to.
So what happens when they put faith to work?
I don't know what happens. People get well.
What are their steps? What is the patient's step?
But they don't have to have any steps. So they simply follow me.
What do they do to put faith to work?
Repetition.
What are they repeating?
What they believe.
And
Statement of faith. Repetition of statement of faith has incredible power.
You always talk about the causative, the causative nature or the causative possibility of faith, the ability to cause things to happen.
I don't know how that works. All I do know is that it works. I don't have to know how.
Right. But you find that faith has a causative.
Pardon me?
You find that faith is causative, that it can cause things.
Oh yes, right. So it's how powerful is your faith? What do you really believe?
And then you repeat it like a mantra of.
I often try to use my mind to remember the 4 faculties of faith, and I begin with the one where we're born with it. And then I go to understand how it helps with learning. And then I think about how it helps with intuition. And then I think about the causative level. Could you review those 4 aspects? I think I'd like to hear you say it, because
I agree with you.
I know, but could you please tell me those again? In your language? I don't remember exactly how you say it.
Does it really matter? No.
Well,
It's
a little bit artificial to tape these things, but it's what we do in the modern world.
Well, yeah, we're trying to figure out how. I guess how does one capture your teaching on faith? It's probably very hard to.
Say that again.
How does one capture your teaching about faith?
I don't teach people about faith.
You teach people faith.
Mm-hmm.
You don't teach them about faith, but you teach people.
That's right.
Mm.
So I got it right then?
Yeah, you got it right.
You're born with faith.
Mm-hmm. Everybody is.
And it's the kind of faith where you don't ask who your mom and don't ask your mom and dad to produce a marriage certificate.
Mm-hmm.
That's the kind of faith we're born with, where we believe what we're told. Is that what?
Well, that is part of faith, naturally. We don't always believe what we're told.
But in the beginning.
But in the beginning, yes. In the beginning, at least from my own recollection, I never questioned my father. Whatever he taught me at the time, I knew this was going something that's going to help me live better, function better. So I listened, and I remembered, to this day, I remember.
You also spoke about how you trade faith for knowledge, or something like that, and also faith is a way to deal with the unknowable.
Oh, that's right.
So what is the relationship of faith and knowledge?
Knowledge always has proof handy. Something can be, oh yeah, why is it going to happen? Because of this and that. In faith, no. Faith does not require that. That's the difference. I don't have to, there's no proof. If I believe something, I believe it. If I know something, I don't have to believe it.
Right. So in that sense, if something is unknowable,
Pardon me?
if something is unknowable, then the only way I have to deal with it
It's faith. Absolutely. And it's difficult for me to teach people that faith is the way to go.
Right.
No, because everybody is conditioned to ask for, see, and have proof for something or other.
Right.
Right. Well, if you believe really strong, if your faith is strong, you don't need a proof.
Well, it comes back full circle to where we started, when you're saying faith is essential for us to deal with the unknowable.
Oh, absolutely.
And we are ourselves unknowable because we are Atma. So
That's right. That's absolutely correct.
So that means really to deal with ourselves we need faith.
Yeah.
But I find that it's difficult, even though I have been taught that I'm Atma, I forget it.
Well, how do you boost your faith? By repetition.
Mm.
So you have to remind yourself.
Over and over again.
Absolutely. Until your faith becomes so strong, so powerful, that you no longer have to remind yourself. But repetition is an incredibly effective tool.
So in the repetition is I am Atman, or just I am.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I am. I wish to be.
Hello.
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 Are you in the right place?
Hello. How are you?
I'm good.
We're doing a movie?
Yes, we are.
Magic?
No.
Oh,
Interview
magic.
with Dr. G.
very
Different
cool.
kind.
Sorry to interrupt.
No,
It's okay. It's
Was
always good to
UPS
see
there?
you.
It's nice to
They
see
did,
you.
yeah.
Did they?
They walked in.
Oh, they
gave
did, okay.
Something to
Yeah,
or
good.
yeah.
Hello. We're being interviewed? That's awesome. Can I
Yes.
have a tape?
Yes.
Have them come get me though.
Oh, okay.
I don't just go in to see
Okay.
her.
This can be your chair.
You're welcome.
Oh, it's fine.
Do you think, Stefan, this might be a good time for?
Well, now that we have our real interviewer, I think she should ask a question. What have you always wanted
There she
Dr. G
is.
to talk about?
I will get
This is so cool.
put Bev on the hot chair.
All right, I'll ask any question.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Bud.
Go Bev.
What am I asking?
Any question?
Any
you'd
question?
like
Anything you want to ask?
To Michael.
Well, how do I know it's already been asked? I just get to ask
That's it.
anything?
You get to ask it your way.
My way.
Norway.
Can I ask one?
Yes,
Sure. Are you
please.
the interview?
You can interview
We're
from
switching
where
the
you
time.
I don't need
are.
to be on. I don't need
No,
to
you can interview from where you are.
just ask a question.
Right.
Wow, off the top of my head. Most important thing one human being can do for another over the course of time.
What? What is
Ask
it?
a question.
What's the one thing that one human being can do for another?
Right.
What's the most important thing another human being can do for another?
Yeah. To give.
There you go.
Well, of course, you knew it all along.
They're all trick questions.
Most memorable,
Oh.
three most memorable.
My turn.
Oh, sorry, then your turn. Three most memorable events of your life.
That is exactly what I was.
Not too many of them.
That's too many. Well, three. The three topmost.
I don't know. I don't know.
Okay.
Lots of them,
Mm-hmm.
not just three.
Okay.
Well, we have enough tape. I said we have enough tape.
That's right.
If you were to change one thing in your life,
Mhm.
what would it have been or would be?
And I never, that thought never entered my mind, you know, really. I can't tell you. I don't know.
Michael, you're an amazing man, and your answers are so true. I bet this is really how you believe that. You don't have anything to change.
Yeah, duh. No regrets.
Wow. Are you getting any answers out of him?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, go ahead.
But it's like pulling teeth, yeah.
Tell us about your favorite time you were on your sailboat.
I mean,
Tell us about one of your favorite times sailing.
I don't know. Every time I cast off, if only for a couple of hours under sail. Wonderful. It's a wonderful way to live. So I didn't have anything extraordinary that happened to me because of my sail. Well, the same thing is with flying. It's the same thing applies. Except that with flying, I do remember the man who taught me about flying, who really sparked something in me. I was 8 years old, and the man was a wounded fighter pilot. That was 1918, the winter 1918. And the war was still going on, World War I. But I was curious about him because he was such a nice man, and I used to spend a lot of time in his room listening to him. So what he said was stick so hard in my head because he was telling me about life. He said, life, we live on the surface of the earth, right? Right. Surface, and by definition, is two-dimensional, right? Right. Therefore, our lives tend to be two-dimensional. This is why so many people climb mountains. And this is why I fly. Because flying makes me live in 3 dimensions. I've never forgotten it. So I decided, boy, that's right, I'm going to be a fighter pilot. That's how it started. And it never quit. So I don't fly anymore. I don't sail anymore. And sailing also. Why is sailing so close to flying experience? Because you're not on the street. You can change direction any instant you desire to do so. You have control. And it's the wind that does it. Have more questions?
Oh, Stefan, I didn't know you were doing this. I could have a bunch of them.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy.
I've been after Dr. G for years to allow me to do it. We finally caught him in the lobby. He was trying to escape because he had raised my appointment from his calendar.
Oh my, oh my.
Stefan and I were remarking how suspicious it is that it always gets erased whenever we schedule some time with you to do an interview. It always vanishes from your calendar.
Well, you got me.
Wow.
In the waiting room.
No?
You finished for today?
We had a few more.
Where are they?
You think they called me for the interview? Little did they know, huh, that they got the 2 people that have known him since what?
Right.
My.
Since he was
1976.
68 years old. 30 years I've known Michael. I haven't known Michael.
Nice
We're
haircut.
still trying to figure out, Michael.
Is this all being filmed?
Are you running right now?
I am, yeah.
Well, we're going to let you continue because you get more detailed answers when we're not around. All right.
It's very good to run into you here.
Thank you. See ya.
And
Have
we'll
a
be
great
seeing-
interview.
We'll be seeing you again, I bet, soon.
Yeah. You gotta keep it.
They brought in chicken here before it goes.
Yeah, but you want to be like on camera, right? You want to be on stage. So where do you want to be? Right here? Just sit, relax, and we'll just talk no matter what.
I enjoy sitting next to you.
I enjoy sitting next to you too, baby. Yeah.